welcome to the virtual tour. This is our tractor. This is our spreader actually. Ben's just been spreading some rock dust and lime onto the vineyard over the last couple of days. And probably our favourite toy, this one, I must say. Apart from that one. So yeah, these are some barrels that have been down because we've been topping over the last couple of days, which is something that we do every month. We lose a percentage of the wine to evaporation, which leaves it open to potential spoilage because there's oxygen in there rather than wine. So we fill them right to the brim once a month with wine. This happens to be the Serpentine Shiraz, so my favourite Shiraz in the winery at the minute. You'll see over here in front of me are our large stainless steel tanks. We predominantly use these guys for fermenting aromatic whites, as well as blending and settling as well. If we come down a little further, so this is our whiteboard. This is how we track the fermentations. While we ferment the reds in the big vats, prior to vintage, we utilise this space to ferment the reds. So we have a series of 1 to 2 tonne fermenters that we set up here. We like them because you can plunge by hand twice a day. So the winery and out there where the tractor is very much a space that morphs according to the season. So out where the tractor was, that's actually at vintage time, that's a crush pad where we are actually doing all our processing. So back to the whiteboard, this is how we track all the ferments. So, up the top we've got the names of the vessels and then, the tonnage and the hectolitres that we expect. We track the sugar, the temperature and the pH. We do that daily throughout the fermentation process, and as you can see, the sugar drops down until you can't see it because of the heater, but eventually until the ferment's dry. At that point in time, we press it out. The press is actually behind the whiteboard. You might be able to see that if you come around here. So this is what we call an airbag press. There's a big airbag inside there that blows up. The compressor does that job and squeezes all of the juice or wine out. So we'll continue on through here. There's some smaller tanks behind there that we use for our smaller Passing Clouds batches or our smaller contract batches. We do quite a bit of contract winemaking, making wine for other people, of which this is one. A local guy who has a small vineyard, so we make his wine. Now, almost my favourite Shiraz is also this Bridgewater Shiraz that we see here. It's the first time we've done it. It's a new vineyard and run organically. So it's actually Passing Clouds' first true organic wine. So we might head on up to the cellar door and have a look at it along with the dining room. I'll talk about this. So this is these are all of our mystery wines from our spit days. The spit days has become a bit of a tradition for us here at Passing Clouds. In fact, it's what the concept of the dining room is modelled on. But basically, someone would bring a cut of meat, somebody else would bring, a salad, somebody else would bring the cheese and the bread, and somebody would bring a mystery wine of which none of those participating in the lunch would know what it was. So it would be in a brown paper bag, and we'd all drink it over lunch and play a game of wine options. And then after lunch, the identity of the wine would be revealed. So we'll head up to the cellar door now. So this is what the space looks like in the daytime. You'll be observing it in the night time, but we wanted to give you guys a bit of a feel for what it really is like. So this is obviously where we conduct all of our tastings with a nice outlook over the vineyard. Recently built, only a couple of years old. So we'll head on through to the dining room now. So again, you'll have to excuse the space. It's currently set up for our takeaway option, which is all that we can do at the minute. But our dining concept really is based around, well, it's based around those spit days that we have during vintage, but we have gone a bit more professional for this space. So everything is cooked on a half-ton charcoal fire pit, so there's no stove, no oven, anything like that. So it's a very true and original way of cooking. So we call it La Familia dining, so it's kind of like you're just coming over to our place for lunch. Three-course set menu, you know, charcuterie, salumi, and then we have shared mains and then some yummy dessert or some cheese. The concept of the dining room was also to really make it feel part of who we are and what we are. So, you know, while you're having your lunch, you can be looking down into the winery or looking out to the vineyard. And we might just go out now and have a bit of a squiz at that. And of course, if it's a day like today, you can be dining out on the deck. So if we start over to the left, you'll see that mound there, that's planted with natives. That's our insectarium. And then just behind there, over there, you'll see some white things standing up. Maybe that's our new planting, Bridgie's block. And then we come into Lockie's block. And then we've got the old vineyard directly in front of us. The left-hand side is predominantly Pinot Noir, and then it moves across to the Chardonnay to the right. And the bad boy in the middle of the dam is an old Furphy tank, which Dad and Sue used to water the original vineyard up at Kingower. So its next life is a water feature. So there ends our virtual tour.